again. Welcome back to the channel. So listen here, familia, you saw the title. What do I mean by the title? It doesn't make sense, all right? The way this deck just got a crazy glow up after being thrown in the trash for the past like 2 months or something is absolute insanity. Now, I'm talking about the Draco Tail branded deck. Yes, indeed. That's what we're talking about today. Now, I'm going to break down the deck list and everything for you. Now, I did play this thing for a few matches in the regional qualifier and the world championship or whatever. I wasn't really trying to get a high score. I mainly wanted my gems, and then I was just playing in here. We made it to, I think I made it to 15,000 or something, and then after that I was just like, I'm good. I didn't have time to play anymore before it ended anyways. But yeah, for my last few duels we went 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 and 8, which is fairly decent. And yeah, this is the deck list. I've also played this deck list on ladder as well. I did a bunch of testing. I mixed this. Listen, I played this deck in a bunch of different ways, bunch of different ratios, bunch of different combinations of cards and hand traps and everything. But I ended up with this. And something that I find kind of weird, I don't know if this happens to you or any one of you guys, but sometimes when you play a deck in a different setting than ladder, you get kind of like a different response when it comes to consistency. For example, for whatever reason, this deck worked fine on ladder, but again, for whatever reason, it worked better in the Duelist Cup. I mean, in the Championship World Qualifier, whatever. It worked better. It was more consistent. It felt more fluent. It just felt way better than it did on ladder for whatever reason. So yeah, this is what I ended up with. We're gonna start it off. I only play one Veiler. I wanted to keep the deck list at 40, wanted to have a few hand traps in there, but you mainly want to open up with Draco Tail cards. For that reason, I didn't want to bombard the deck list with hand traps, especially since we're playing the branded package. I just figure, you know what, we might draw into our one-off hand traps, or we could recycle them all the time anyways. So I even play multiple of them, and it actually worked out. So we only play one Veiler, we only play one Maxi because it's limited to one. We're gonna play one Frixel, 3 copies of Ash de la Blossom, 1 copy of Ghost Bell in the Haunted Mansion, somebody called Luigi. We're gonna Draco Tail Malulu at 3, of course, 1 copy of the Fallen of Alvas, the OG. Don't have the new art for it, but he looked tougher like this. No, it doesn't. I'm just pouring. I'm trying to make myself feel better. But yeah, we play 1 copy of that thing. We're gonna play 1 Incredible Ecclesia. You might want to play 2. 1 was significantly fine for me. It was perfectly okay. But if you want to play 2, it's not a bad idea, because she could always summon herself going second. It's not bad at all. I am playing 2 copies of Blazing Cartesia. Oh my god, Blazing Cartesia. I'm sorry. I'm actually really hyped that I got both the Prismatic and I mean Royal Rare and the OR. Really happy about that. We only play 1 Quem. Now mind you, you don't have to play Quem, but for whatever reason, when I wasn't playing Quem, I wasn't breaking, but my hands weren't that good. I added a Quem in there because I wanted to try a few things. I haven't seen it. I think I've rarely ever put the Quem on the field. Most of the time it might have been in my hand. But hey, apparently it's good that she's in there. You can take it out for sure. You definitely don't need the Quem. I just like the Quem because if you don't open up a good enough hand to play Draco Tail, you could play Pure Branded for a little bit and then join to your Draco Tail shenanigans. So I really like 1 copy of it, but you could take it out. 3 copies of Mochami Fualos, of course, because if we don't need it, we use it as a body to fusion summon. It feels really nice playing this thing in this deck because, again, if you throw it out and you draw cards, you're gaining advantage, but also, you know, it's a card that you have in the hand, so you could always basically trade for it in the graveyard. What do I mean? For example, let's say you activate Femina, you have a Urgula, Fualos, and Ghost Bell. You could definitely not add this back, but it gives you the ability to add back the Ghost Bell or the Urgula. You know, it gives you the ability to add something else that's not itself. So we're gonna play 1 copy of the Lucius as well because it's limited to 1. 2 copies of the Fallen of the White. 3 copies of Draco Tail Femina, of course. 1 Bestial Magna Hut. 2 copies of the Urgula. Urgula is just really nice to play that too, because most of the time, for going second shenanigans, you mainly have problems with back row, right? Almost every deck in this game has problem with back row. Back row is what you mainly worry about when you look at a board, because you don't know what the heck is back there unless they said it and you know. But you know, popping a back row is just really good. Also, recycling your spellcasters is also amazing, so that's why I like 2 copies of it. I'm only gonna play 1 copy of Pan. If you wanna play 2, that's up to you. It's not a bad idea. But you might break a little bit. We're gonna play 2 copies of Branded Fusion, 3 copies of Ket2 Draco Tail, 1 Rahu Draco Tail, 1 Call by the Grave, which I thought was hilarious because I was streaming at some point in time and I was going up against a Draco Tail player, and I was like, Draco Tail people play Kobai, and I played Kobai in it, which it came in clutch with 1 or 2 duels. Only played 2 copies of the Fallen and the Virtuous, 1 of each of our traps, the Horn, the Flame, and the Sting. Now, before anybody asks me, oh, why you don't play draw play or why I don't play Super Poly or anything like that, listen, again, I played this deck with a bunch of different ratios, a bunch of different things. At some point in time, I was playing 3 copies of this, 2 copies of draw play, and at some point in time, I was playing none of that, and I was playing Super Poly. This deck does not want to see spells and traps. It mainly wants all you want is Femina and Draco Tail monsters. And most of the time, that's what you want, honestly speaking. Unless you're going first or second and you have the Fallen of the White, you also want to see that. You don't want to see any of this stuff a lot of the time. So for that reason, I try to make it as small as possible of a package of traps and spells, so that way we see monsters more often, and honestly, it works pretty decent. For the extra deck, now I have to give a small, very small apology to the Draco Tail community, because I was making fun of them for playing Floodgates, the Secretary Dragon. And as I was playing with and without it, because I did test the deck with and without this thing, it honestly feels like it should be a piece of the deck. It just allows you to do a lot of different things, because for example, being able to special summon a dragon or a spellcaster from the graveyard is absolutely nuts. Like for example, if you use this thing as fusion material, right, and then you make the Secretary and special summon it, you basically get the whole branded combo from there. Special summoning this thing from the graveyard after using it as a material gets you a search of a Draco Tail monster. So having this thing, it honestly, again, feels kind of mandatory for this deck. I ain't gonna lie. It just adds way too much, and it's a Floodgate, which I'm not a fan of, but it is what it is. So yeah, we're gonna play 1 copy of Draco Tail Galumel. We're gonna play 1 copy of the Tinklat, the Ash Dragon, 2 copies of Albion, the Branded Dragon, mainly because, you know, we play the Fallen and the Virtuous. We're gonna play 1 copy of the boy, himself, Mirror Jade, Ice Blade, the Dragon. We need more overframe cards, because this thing is tough, but I want a new one. We're gonna play 1 copy of Alba Letus, only 1, because, you know, a bunch of dragons and Fallen of Albas on the field, Kong-type fusion, a bunch of shenanigans away. We're gonna play Rimbrum, of course, 1 copy of Rimbrum. We are gonna play Albion the Sanctifier Dragon, because when you open up with just a branded fusion, you get a lot of value off of making the Sanctifier Dragon with the Froxo and searching and doing things. We're gonna play 1 Chaos Star Soul Dragon, of course. We're gonna play 2 copies of Draco Tail Arthalion. Sometimes I wish I had 3 in here. I'm not gonna lie, I wish I had 3, but 2 is fine, so do with that as you wish. And of course, the Secretary Dragon, I already explained. 1 copy of the Dragon that devours the Dogma. Sometimes I wish I had 2 copies of this in here as well, but 1 is already okay. We're gonna play 1 copy of the Ecclesia, the Dark Dragon, and Predaplan Verte Anaconda. So that is the deck list, nice and tight, 40 card deck list. It feels really nice to play again. Honestly, this deck is absolute nuts. It doesn't make any sense how this deck just went from being in the trash, in the garbage for like the past month or 2, and then just coming back as the strongest deck in the game again. It might not be the strongest, it's really freaking strong. Like, you're gonna see what I mean. So with that being said, I got about 9 replays for you guys. If you guys enjoy the content, leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe, because I would greatly appreciate it. The first one is not that crazy of a duel. It's just a showcase of what the heck this deck does, because I gotta show you what the deck does. I like doing that for the first replay. And then after that, I have some really entertaining replays that I think you guys will enjoy. So let's get into those. Alright, familia, so here we are for replay numero 1, number 1 of the day, and this is the replay that literally makes the title. Like, I don't understand how it doesn't make sense. So we're gonna start it off by activating Fallen the White Dragon. We're gonna send the Albion, the Branded Dragon, to the graveyard, so we can special summon the Incredible Ecclesia. Know where this is going. We're gonna use both of these monsters, synchro off into the Ecclesia and the Dark Dragon, bring it out here. We're gonna activate that thing's effect, get the heck out of here, special summon the Blazing Cartesia onto the field. We're gonna activate the Rahu Draco Tail here. We're gonna use the entire hand plus Femina from the deck to fusion summon into Draco Tail Arthalion. Before anybody who's a real Draco Tail player, I forgot to say this during the breakdown of the deck lists, I'm not a real Draco Tail player. If this looks weird, why would you do this? I was learning the deck in the past like week or two. So yeah, we're gonna activate the Artalion here. We're gonna recycle Femina, Malulu, and the Fallen in White. We're gonna also activate Malulu and Femina here, so we could set 2 cards in the back. Femina is gonna set a Ketu Draco Tail in the back. Malulu is gonna set the Flame in the back, and Artalion again is gonna recycle Femina, Malulu, and the Fallen in White. We're gonna activate the Draco Tail here, getting ourselves a Lucius. I said the Draco Tail. The Ketu to get ourselves the Lucius to the hand. We have a normal summon, so we're gonna normal summon here, activate that thing's effect. Get our Urgula to the hand, activating Blazic Artesia. So we could use the Artalion and the Fallen in White to go into Mirror Jade, the Ice Blade Dragon. That boy cold. Activate Femina. We're gonna use the Lucius and the Urgula as materials to fusion summon into the Secretarian Dragon. Now we're gonna activate the Urgula, activate the Lucius, activate Artalion to come back onto the field because I need that. Right? Special summon the Artalion onto the field. Lucius is gonna set a Horn in the back, and Urgula is gonna set a Sting in the back as well. Activate the Urgula, add the Femina back to the hand, and this is why I'm telling you this thing is really good, because you get to recycle a card and basically special summon a dragon. End phase, we're gonna start our main phase 3. Yup, you know how this goes. We're gonna bring back the Ecclesia and the Dark Dragon, activate Albion the Branded Dragon to set the Fallen and the Virtuous, activate Ecclesia to come back to the hand, and we end our turn. So fusion summon into whatever, fusion summon into whatever, essentially a floodgate. Fusion summon with the field with the Fallen above us, the OG. Bounce a attack position monster back to the hand, draw a card, pop a card on the field, well, face up card on the field. Sting, banish 2 cards from the graveyard, negate a spell, banish a card on the field, face up, whatever, doesn't really matter, non-targeting. And again, negate a card on the field, plus we get to draw 3 cards if all of these go through. This board is absolutely nuts. Radiant Typhoon Vision is going to activate. Again, the Flame is going to take care of that, flame that up. No, it's not, because Book of Eclipse is going to activate. Well, it's still going to get negated. So yeah, Book of Eclipse, I wasn't even worried at all whatsoever. Again, we're going to return the Rahu to negate the Vision, join to an Urgula. Now we have an addition disruption of being able to pop a back row. Now the crazy thing is that even though my whole field got flipped like a pancake, I'm not even worried, because Femina is going to fix all of that for us anyways. He's going to activate a chant here, getting himself an Element. No, this is not a Radiant Typhoon player. Element is going to activate, get himself a Swan to the hand that he cannot special summon because there is no Mystical Space Typhoon in the graveyard. He's going to activate the March Hare here, banishing a trap. Immediately, we're just going to bounce that thing back to the hand, and the opponent is going to school. Again, this is just a showcase of what the heck the deck does. I wanted you to see the board. And literally, after losing literally every monster that we have on the field, the back row alone took care of the duel for us. So with that being said, now we're going to get into some real back and forth replays that I think you guys will enjoy. Let's get into those. All right, familia, here we are for replay numero 2, number 2 of the day. I almost slipped. You didn't see it though. So yeah, this is in the World Championship Cup, whatever it's called. Kultun Rico hits the field. They're gonna activate that thing's effect, get the Rotary to the hand. Of course, they're gonna use the Rotary in the Rico. Now, I want you to know something real quick, as he's gonna fusion summon into the Trackmaker. For some reason, my brain decided that he did activate Rotary for the extra normal summon, but he never did. This is going to be important later. As he does activate the Rotary and the Trackmaker, I have no hand trap, so all of this is free. As he's going to get a JJ Kultun to the hand, aka the field spell. Also getting the Kultun Synchro to the hand. He is going to activate the field spell. We'll set it. We're going to activate the Mr. Magna. I was mainly trying to bait out something. Let me see if he had like a hand trap he wanted to throw out. No. So we banished the Rotary, special summon the Magna. It might have been better to banish the Trackmaker, to be honest, but who really cares? As he is going to Ash Blossom the Magna. This is exactly what we wanted. We just wanted to make him waste a hand trap. As I do activate the Femina here. And we're going to use both the Mr. Magna and the Malulu to go into a copy of the Kale Star Source Dragon. Now, again, I just want you to know something, because you might be thinking, why would you go into this? Why would you not go into Galumel, right? Because I could have done that going into Galumel, pop a card, whatever. The only reason why I went into Chaos Star Source Dragon is because I didn't want him having a way to chain block the Galumel, which he did. This is the best play I could have made. We're gonna pop the field spell, pop the track maker, activate my Lulu, and there it is, Kutun Synchro. That would have chain blocked my Galumel from popping a card on the field, so we made the right choice here. As he is gonna grab another rotary to the hand, using a clip and the track maker to go into a copy of the Loudness Word. Now I also did this on purpose, because I knew that if he wanted to activate this in response to us doing this, whatever monster he would special summon will be negated by the Malulu, and that's exactly what happens. We're gonna set the Ketu, negate the Loudness Word, pop their field spell. I'm like, we're good here. Track maker's gonna bounce a card back, and Clip is gonna banish a random card from the deck. Of course, he did banish my one copy of the Galumel, Sad Times in the Kingdom, and he does get to bounce back the Chaos Star Soul Dragon back into the deck, which is perfectly fine with us. Pot of Desires, because of course they draw two. Of course he just drew into another rotary, or he had it in the hand, I don't know. Mix is in the hand. Summon the Mix for another time. Activate the Mix, get another Rico to the hand. Yeah, bro played through everything that I could have. Everything I did, he just played through it. Like nothing. So he's going to use both of these monsters here. Go into a Cool Tune Remix. Activate the Rico to pop the Ketu that I just set. Set up back row, end their turn. So I basically lost my whole entire hand. Got one of my best freaking cards banished from the extra deck, and I have nothing because he popped my follow. We draw into a Froxel, which is really nice. Normal summon the Froxel, activate that, add the Malulu back onto the field. He is going to activate the Remix here, or special summon Malulu, whatever you want to call it. So he's going to get the Rico back to the hand, special summon the Mix, use the Rico and the Mix to go into a copy of the RS. Bring it out here. RS is the field. Again, we bring my Lulu back out here, put the Froxel back in the hand. He's going to activate the Mix. We're going to dodge with my Lulu. Of course, right now, because he has a Ghost Bell and the Snow Rabbit. So, my whole plan was to make use of my Lulu here and Froxel so I could get some plays before I go into the Fallen in White. But because he's popping the Malulu here, this is really bad for me because now I have to use this as material. So, yeah. Sad Times in the Kingdom. He doesn't negate anything with the RS. But again, we do have two materials. Unfortunately, we have a trap. So we're going to go into the Draco Tail Italian. We're going to activate Italian here, trying to recycle the Femina and the Fallen in White, activating the Froxel to chain block and set a card in the back. He is going to activate the RS, banish an Ash Blossom to negate the Italian from recycling. But at this point in time, this is perfectly fine with us. So we set a Cat to Draco Tail, and he's gonna scoop. I just want you to know he's gonna scoop, and if you want to know why he's gonna scoop, it's because I get to basically fusion summon with the cards that I have on the field. Out of this, I can get a pan to pop this thing in the face. This thing gets negated for the rest of this game unless they use it as material. Nobody knows what the heck this is, but the point is that we get follow from this Ketu. He doesn't like any of that, and he's gonna scoop. Yeah, because we could make another Italian. And depending on the material, I could go for Ergula, pop the back row, Ergula, recycle back Femina. There's just a bunch of different things that we could do from here. He already used all of his resources. That card in the hand probably doesn't even matter. And it's GG. So with that being said, let's continue. Yes, sir. Here we are for replay numero 3. Number 3 of the day. And we're going up second against a 60-card branded deck list. They're going to activate the branding High Spirit, showing us the kit, sending the Dragon that devours the Dogma to get the Fallen in White to the hand. All of that in the draw phase, activating the Fallen in White here, sending Tinkla to the graveyard, activate the Fallen in White. We're going to throw out the Fualos here. It does go through, fortunately for us, as he is going to special summon a Ecclesia Dogmatica, activate that thing, adding himself a Quem to the hand, so he could normal summon the Quem, activate, send a Blazing Carchicha to the graveyard. We're going to activate Femina here before they end their turn, as we're going to use Lucius and Malulu to go into an Artalion, right? Bring it out here. He is going to activate the Quem, trying to revive the kit back out here. So I decided to activate the Artalion here, and I basically recycle back the Tinclad and the Dogma that devours here, bounce them back, get him the heck out of here. Lucius is going to set a card in the back row, and Malulu is going to activate which is perfect for us. Because now we get to set our card in the back, which is going to be Rahu. We get to negate the Quem from special summoning, set the Sting in the back as well. Our Talion bounce back their follow-up during the end turn, and Quem gets permanently negated, as he is going to activate Blazing Cartesia to add back to the hand. So we basically prevented him from getting a spell and setting in the and special summoning from the deck, which is very nice here. As we do go into the draw phase, we're getting ourselves a Fallen Evolvers to the hand. I'm going to Contact Fusion into the Letus, activate the Ketu Dracotail, get an Urgula to the hand. We're going to activate Rahu. I could have Fusion Summon here. I don't know why I didn't. Maybe I had a better plan. As I do activate the Rahu Dracotail here, using all three of these monsters, Pan, Urgula, Fallen, into the Dracotail Italian. Activate Italian's effect. We're going to recycle back 2 cards from the graveyard. The Italian in the graveyard is going to special summon. Urgula is going to activate as well. Activate the Pan, because we need that. He's going to activate Branded Sword, banishing a Branding High Spirits. To special summon a token. There it goes. The Pan, we're going to set a Flame in the back. We're going to pop the Dogmatica Ecclesia. Urgula is going to set a Ketu Dracotail in the back. And again, Ortalion is going to come back out onto the field. Add back the Fallen Evolvers. We haven't normal summon yet. Add the Lucius back. Urgula is going to recycle the Femina back to the hand. I need that. We're going to activate the Fallen and the Virtuous. We're going to send the Ecclesia and the Dark Dragon to the graveyard and pop in the token, leaving Quem on the field. As we activate Femina here to use Artalion and Lucius to go into our copy of the Dracotail Galumel. We're going to activate the Lucius here, chain the Galumel to pop the Quem, get it the heck out of here. Because this on the field is lethal damage, plus Lucius setting back a Ketu Dracotail. Because, at some point in time, I wasn't playing Horn. This is when, again, I told you I played this deck in a few different ways. I wasn't playing Horn, that's why I keep setting Ketus, if you're wondering. Anyways, lethal damage onto the field, slap for 25. There goes the Golden Soul Soul, negating my attack, slap over the Golden Soul Soul, main phase to end phase. I thought I was winning the game here, that didn't happen. Opponent gonna draw a card, they're gonna activate the Blazing Cartesia, special summon it, summon the kit, activate the kit, get himself a Branded Fusion to the hand, recycling a card back into the deck. I'm gonna activate the Sting here, and I'm going to banish the Golden Soul Soul plus the Trap, right? And I'm going to activate the Galumel to pop a card on the field, which is going to be Blazing Cartesia. He's going to activate the Blazing Cartesia in response to my pop. That's perfectly fine. I just wanted to bait that thing out, like, just get it out of the way. As he is going to go into a Dust Dragger Grangular, right? We don't get to pop anything, but we do get to banish and draw after recycling the Rahu. Get a Branding High Spirits to the hand. He's going to activate, send a Dragon that devours the Dogma to the graveyard, activating the Branded Fusion here. We are going to negate with the Flames. Stop it. Get some help. He did get some help though, because my opponent is very decent. Very decent opponent. As we do get the Fualos to the hand here, battle phase, he's going to slap over the Letus, which is not that great of an idea because I get to add with that at the end of the turn. Dragon that Devours is going to add the Fallen and the Virtuous to the hand. He's going to activate that thing's effect, send a Tinkler to the graveyard, pop the Galumel. I'm going to trigger Pan because of that. Special summon the Lucius onto the field. He's going to activate the Dust Dragon. We're going to activate the Lucius. Lucius is going to add a card to the hand, which is going to be a Femina. I need that. He does get to special summon Coridas from the extra deck, activating Blazing Cartesia to add back to the hand. Opponent is nice. Look at this. Boop, Tinklad. Special summon the Fallen Evolvers. Activate that, sending Blazing Cartesia back to the graveyard, using Italian and the Fallen Evolvers to go into his own Mirror Jade. We're going to activate the Letus, getting a Branded Fusion to the hand, and it's our turn once again. We're going to draw into a Fallen of White here, activating the Fallen of White, sending the Brimbrum to the graveyard, activating the Fallen of White to special summon Cartesia, activating the Ecclesia and the Dark Dragon to recycle the Letus. To bounce back the Mirror Jade, he's going to banish a card here, which is going to be the Ecclesia. Gets the heck out of here. That thing is done. Again, we do bounce the card back so we don't have to worry about our field being blown up. We're going to activate the Ketu, getting a Malulu to the hand. And now we're going to Fusion Summon, using the Fallen of White and Malulu to go into a copy of the Chaos Star Soul's Dragon. We're gonna activate the Kill Sarsa Dragon to pop the Caritas, activate Calomel to come back onto the field, activate Artalion to come back onto the field, activating Malulu to set a card in the back and negate. As again, he's gonna activate the Caritas, but we don't care because only Lucius gets his attack diminished. As we're gonna set the Rahu Draco Tail in the back. Caritas is negated now. Special summon the Artalion as we stated. Galomel come back over here on the field. And we do pop the Caritas. We know that he's gonna special summon a card, which is gonna be the Fallen and White. So he did special summon the Domenica Ecclesia. If you're wondering why wouldn't he summon the regular Ecclesia, so that way he could, you know, get it the heck out of here, special summon the OG Fallen of Alvas and use my field. He doesn't have a card in the hand, so that play is not good for him. As he summons the Domenica, gets himself the Fallen and the Virtuous to the hand as we stated. We normal summon the Fallen of Alvas, send a card to the graveyard, and you know where this is going. Dogma the dragon that devours the Dogma. We get to bounce cards back. This thing alone on the field, we get to slap over both of these cards. We get to pop them if I activate a Draco Tail card, which I will. Yeah, it's GG's. So with that being said, let's continue. All right, familia. I believe this is replay number 4 or something like that. And this is why, again, you don't want to have I mean, you have to play these, right? But this is one of the reasons why I didn't want to play that many spells and traps or whatever. Because this is kind of dead. So my only play is Branded Fusion, and Ash will destroy my hopes and dreams. As I do activate the Branded Fusion, it does go through, sending the Fallen of White and the Fruxel to make the Albion Sanctifier Dragon. We're going to activate the Fruxel here, setting a Ketchu Draco Tail, activate the Ketchu, adding a Lucius to the hand so we can summon the Lucius, activate the Lucius, get a Malulu here as we activate Femina. And we're going to use our whole entire hand of monsters to fusion summon into the Artalion. Bring it out here. Artalion is going to activate. We're going to recycle Ash Blossom, Malulu, and Femina. Malulu is going to activate. Lucas is going to activate, which means we get to set 2 cards in the back, which is going to be a Rahu. Malulu is going to set a Sting. And again, Artalion is going to recycle Ash, Femina, and Malulu to the hand. Rahu is going to activate. Of course, Ergula has to be used here as fusion materials to go into our copy of the Galumel. So here we get to activate the Femina, activate the Ergula, setting 2 more cards in the back, which is gonna be the Horn and probably a Ketchu, right? Yeah, another Ketchu. And we activate the Ergula, add Femina back to the hand, set the Flame in the back, and we're gonna end our turn. So this is actually perfectly fine because even this Sanctified Dragon summon the Fallen in White is still fusion summon with the board. It's honestly insane. But yeah. As our opponent's going to activate Albion Destroy the Dragon, sending the Fallen in White, activating Branding High Spirits. This play is absolutely nuts. As we do activate the Flame here, I had a feeling this was bait, but I'd rather negate that. That's pretty good bait. As we do draw into a Fualo, Sad Times in the Kingdom. He does get to send and draw a card, evenly match on the field. We're gonna activate this thing. I'm gonna manage the Fallen in White and the Branding High Spirits. I'm also gonna activate the Horn here to bounce back the Galumel back into the deck. This means we get to draw 2 cards. We're gonna recycle the Flame to draw into another Malulu. Sting banishes 2. Recycle the Lucius to draw into a Branded Fusion. We're going to let the whole back row get banished, and I'm going to leave the Sanctified Dragon on the field. He's going to activate the Fallen in White that he has in the hand, setting the Dogmatica that devours. We're going to Ash the Fallen in White here. Stop it. Get some help. We don't want to deal with none of that. As he is going to activate Branded Fusion, I'm going to activate Femina. And with Femina, we're going to use the whole entire hand again of monsters, which is going to be 2 Malulus and the Fualos here to go into Artalion. And then he's gonna use the Fallen in White that he has on the field, plus a Springen's Kit to special summon Albion the Branded Dragon. Here he's gonna activate Albion the Branded Dragon, activating the Springen's Kit. We're gonna activate Artalion. And here I decided to bounce back into the deck the Dogma that Devours, because that is the only follow-up that he has in the graveyard. And like I said, this is why it's sometimes good, well not sometimes, but why Fualo doesn't bother you that much, because now instead of having to recycle Fualos, I'm just going to recycle the Ash. That's what I mean. You could trade Fualos in the graveyard for something different, which is nuts. So we're gonna activate the Malulu here. Malulu is gonna set and negate him from fusion summoning with the Albion the Branded Dragon. Again, we're gonna recycle 2 cards back into the. We're gonna get Femina back to the hand and sending back the Domatica into the extra deck. He is gonna special summon the Fallen in White that already activated. We're gonna activate Sanctified Dragon. I'm gonna special summon the Fallen in White. Summon the Fualos onto their side of the field. Blazing Cartesia. You know where this is going. OG Albus. Send the Ash back into the graveyard. Use their field to make our own Dogma that devours, right? We're gonna activate that thing's effect. Put back the Branded Fusion and our banished card into the deck. End phase is gonna activate the Branded in red. Getting the Fallen in White back to the hand. Bro, Branded has gas for days, bro. He's gonna use the Albion the Branded Dragon and the Fallen in White to go into a Mirror Jade. Every time I think I'm done, finish the duel, my opponent be like, hell no. Branded, a Sanctified Dragon gets the heck out of here. Summons the Fallen of Albas. Uses my entire field except for the one that's unaffected to make his own Dogma. Activates the Dogma here, recycling the Artalion back into the deck and his banished Fallen in White. I'm gonna activate Blazing Cartesia because it's the end phase, add it back to the hand. So ironically, he doesn't have his own Blazing Cartesia in the graveyard. The reason why this was unaffected was because mine was in the graveyard because it works that way. Now, this is where we do a smart thing. We join to a Maxi, I activate the Rahu. So I use every single card that I can, except for the Blazing Cartesia, to go into the Artalion. Now if you're wondering, why would you not use Blazing Cartesia? Simple. It would make this thing unaffected. So I use my brain for once in a while, and I decided not to use this so that way we could get rid of this, right? As we are gonna activate, literally bounce back both of these monsters, activate Femina, activate the Pan, because I don't want to pop them, right? I don't want to pop them. So we're gonna set a Ketu in the back. Femina is gonna set a Flame. And again, Artalion gonna bounce both of these back, Branded Fusion, and any monster that we fusion summon into is lethal damage. Yeah, he literally stood here because he might have thought that I was gonna put the Iglesia back in the graveyard. That was not gonna happen. So with that being said, let's continue. Yes, sir. Here we are at the Wendy's replay, the 5 for 5. I think it's the 5th replay. I don't freaking know. We're going second here. Opponent's gonna normal summon a Clip and use a Clip and a Haunted Mansion to go into a Crackle. He's gonna activate the Crackle, activating the Clip. The Clip is gonna randomly banish from the extra deck a Albion the Branded Dragon, and then he's gonna get rid of the Dogma, which is gonna come back. Now I know it doesn't seem that crazy. Trust me, the duel happened. He has things. Don't worry about it. So here we're gonna join to the Blazing Cartesia, immediately summoning the Incredible Ecclesia. He's gonna ask the Incredible Ecclesia here. I decided to not cover the grave, just because I have the Blazing Cartesia in the hand anyways. We have plays. Summon Blazing Cartesia, activate that. He's going to activate the Effect Veiler. To negate the Blazing Cartesia, that's when I use the finger on the Effect Veiler. And he says, nah. Opponent says, no, I cannot finger things. Sad times in the kingdom. So we do get negated, which means we're going to get it twice because the Blazing Cartesia also gets negated by the Effect Veiler. And I don't have anything else. So we're going to set a Sting in the back. He's gonna draw a card here, which ironically is a freaking Rico. Summons the Rico activated. Luckily for me, thank the Lord, I had a freaking Ash Blossom, because if not, I was getting cooked immediately. As he's gonna use both of these monsters here to link up into an SP, the Littlest Knight, bring it out here. That's gonna trigger multiple things here. He's gonna try and banish this thing, which he's also gonna activate the Crackle to bring it back onto the field. I'm gonna activate this thing to banish the Crackle. There is no spell or trap. He's gonna activate SP Little Knight to banish both of these cards. I said nah. Activating the Blazing Cartesia to fusion summon with the Malulu, and he's gonna scoop. Yeah, because it's really nice for us. He doesn't get anything back. The SP Little Knight is basically done because there's nothing else he could do. And I get to fusion summon into whatever the heck I want. Artalion, recycle cards back into the hand. I could make a Galumel and pop the SP Little Knight. It doesn't matter. They don't have any more resources in the hand. It's GG's. Let's continue. Yes, but of course, here we are for the semi to last replay, if I'm not mistaken. I think there's another one. If not, then there won't be. But we're going first. We're going to activate the Ketu Draco Tail here, getting ourselves Femina to the hand. We're going to get hit with the Drill news. We don't care. Blazing Cartesia on the field. We're going to use Urgula and Femina to go into the Artalion. Activate the Artalion here. We're going to recycle the Femina and the Urgula, activating Femina's effect, activating the Urgula, so we could set 2 cards in the back, which I'm assuming Rahu. Yes, sir. And another trap because we already used the Ketu. We're going to set the Flame. Again, recycle both the Femina and the Urgula back out here. And now we're going to use the Rahu, send the Lucius and an Ash Blossom to the graveyard to make a Galomel. Okay, so just to explain your thought process, my thought process was I'm going to make another Italian. I could recycle the Ash if I need to. I like having the Urgula on the field because I get to pop a back row and set a back row. That was my thought process, I'm assuming. We're going to activate the Lucius, setting a Sting in the back, setting the Fallen and Virtuous, and ending our turn. This might also be one of my early replays. As he's going to activate the Regina Elf Note, sending the spell to the graveyard, the Welcome Home. He's going to special summon the Lucina off of the effect of Regina. So I'm going to activate this thing to banish both the Dwelling Library and the Elf Note Welcome Home. So that way I could trigger the Galomel to pop the Lucina. I'm assuming that's what I would like to do. Yes, sir. There we go. Either or, I mean, we have to pop the one that searches Regina already used. As we're going to banish 2, recycle back the Rahu to draw into a Fualos. He's going to special summon the Fallen and White Dragon, special summon the Blazing Cartesia. We're going to use, special summon the Ecclesia. I'm going to use the Blazing Cartesia to make the Secretarian Dragon. Now, I also thought that the second dragon, that the special summoning effect of this thing was in any turn, because I wanted to summon this thing back and search, but this is only on your turn that you can summon. I'm an idiot. So he's going to use both of these monsters and outplay the heck out of me by going into Baron de la Flor, activating the Regina. I do activate to special summon the Galomel back, activate Artalion to come back onto the field. He decided to not negate any of that as Artalion is back out here. The Galomel comes back out here. Regina gets to add itself back to the hand. And now I activate Femina, using both of all 3 of these monsters to go into another Artalion. And here we could recycle the Ash Blossom. Let's see. Well, we're going to bounce back the Baron de la Flor, which we're going to chain block the bounce so he can't respond to that. So he's going to have to negate the activation of another card that's happening in the graveyard. As we do recycle the Ash Blossom, we're going to activate the Urgula as well. He does have a super polymerization, Sad Times in the Kingdom, using his monster and my monster to make the Dogma that Devours. Urgula is going to set the Rahu. I am going to pop the Super Poly for fun. And the Baron de la Flor gets back into the extra deck. Again, we recycle the Ash. He's going to recycle the Welcome Home and the Lucina. Battle phase, slap over the Galomel, which is going to get banished. Main phase 2 and phase. Here we're going to join to a Ghost Bell, but we do have the setup. Urgula, recycle back the Lucius to the hand. Normal summon the Lucius, activate that. Getting ourselves Femina to the hand. We're going to activate the Fallen and the Virtuous. Oh yeah, I remember this. This is definitely one of my earlier replays. But also, if you're wondering why the heck I'm trying to pop an unaffected monster, that's not what I was trying to do. I just needed to put this thing in the graveyard. That was the main thing. So that I could activate it, recycle back my banished Artalion, and that way I could fusion summon into Artalion. Because right now, that's what I want to do. But both of my Artalions, which I only play 2 copies of, are not in the extra deck. So I needed to recycle it, which didn't happen. Because I didn't bounce this thing back into the deck, I couldn't put my cards back into the extra deck. So Sad Times in the Kingdom, now I have to use both of my monsters and think outside of the box to go into a Predaplan Verte Anaconda. That's going to trigger Artalion to come back onto the field. We activate the Verte here, paying 2 racks, and we're going to use the pen and the Fallen and White to go into the Tinclad. If you're wondering, oh, look at this idiot, he's sending a pen because he thinks he's going to pop. No, I know it's unaffected. The reason why I sent the pen is because that is the highest level dragon that I have, which is a level 7. Urgula is a level 6. So to get the attack that I need to slap over this thing, I needed to make Tinkla this way to get 3600, activate the pan, and he's gonna scoop. Why? Because we could attack over that thing. He doesn't have follow-up. I have the traps in the back, so if he gets a spell to activate off of the Dogma, which is going to be the Fallen in the Virtuous, I'm going to flame that thing and draw a card. So it is GG's. Also, we have the Ash Blossom. The Ash Blossom that I recycled literally will stop that anyways. So with that being said, let's continue. Yes, here we are for the last replay of the day. And we have a very decent hand. I was going to say, never mind, don't mind that. Opponent's gonna activate Singing Wakes, activating that thing, paying 2 racks, getting themselves the Golem that guards. They're gonna activate the Golem here, put that thing in the back, paying 2,000 more life points to special summon, getting themselves the Wedge Temple to the hand. They're gonna use both of these monsters to link off into a Camellia. They're gonna activate the Camellia. I decided to Ash Blossom here because I don't know what the heck bro's doing. This is clearly not a normal it's not a normal Sky Striker deck. I don't know what this is. I couldn't check it anyways. But this feels like something I needed to stop. Don't want to deal with none of that. He's going to activate the Wedge Temple. Setting a... What the heck did you just set? Oh, he set a Parolia and another monster in the back. Now he's going to make the Doom Dragon. Use the Doom Dragon and the Camellia to link off into a Rabbit. Rabbit is going to set a Solar Hat Trick in the back. He's going to activate Heka Hand's Macubule here. And he's going to use both of these monsters as material to go into the Heka Hand. I forgot your name. The Jausa? Yeah, the Heka Hand Jausa. This is when I decided to activate Femina because this thing is really slow. That way we use Lucius and Malulu as materials to go into the Artalion. Now, I did contemplate bouncing that thing back because if you read the trap that my opponent set, it says, if this card is special summon, you could target face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of illusion monsters you control, which this thing counts as an illusion monster plus this. So I wanted to bounce this thing back so he couldn't bounce or negate my cards. But then I was like, you know what? I could deal with that later. As I do recycle the Lucius and the Femina, we're going to activate the Malulu and the Lucius. So we're going to set in the back a copy of the Ketu, and we're going to set a Rahu, negating the Heka Hand Jausa from searching here, because it's slow as we stated. Adding Femina back and Lucius back to the hand. They're going to normal summon La Crema. La Crema is going to send Femina Engraver to the graveyard, and then become a Requiem to the M. Right? Requiem is on the field, get that thing out of here to special summon another Femina Engraver. He's going to activate the Engraver in the graveyard to bounce back La Crema to special summon itself. That's 2 level 6 monsters on the field, doesn't matter. He's going to use both of these to go into a sequence. I'm activating the sequence to basically use all 3 of these monsters to fusion summon into the Desiree. Bring it out here. He's going to use the Desiree and the Female sequence to link off into an Ogmunde. This is going to allow him to activate the Desiree in the graveyard, bouncing back the sequence so that he could send the Ketu Draco Tail to the graveyard. Get it out of here, activating Ogmunde, special summon the Desiree, put that thing in the back and face. So essentially, we lost one of the follow-up that we set. He does have a 2 negate, I forgot what the trap does already, plus negate 2 cards on the field. We're going to join to an effect veiler, activating the Fallen in the Virtuous. Because he doesn't have the link to attach to this thing, only the Ogmunde, I can target the Desiree, which I will. This is going to force him to negate. So he's going to negate the Fallen in the Virtuous and the Artalion here. Standby phase, main phase 1. We're going to normal summon the Lucius, activate that, get an Urgula to the hand. We're going to activate the Rahu here, and he's going to activate the Solar Hat Trick, which again, if this card is special target face-up card your opponent control up to the number of illusion monster control, negate their effects until the end of this turn. So there we go, 2 card negate. So he's gonna special summon the Solar Hat Trick as we stated. Rahu is gonna use basically our entire hand plus a pan to fusion summon into the Artalion. My opponent is smart because he purposely did this on purpose, as he's gonna activate Artalion. That was English. We're gonna activate the Femina, activate the pan, activate the Urgula. he is gonna activate to negate both the Lucius and the Artalion, so I basically can't recycle anything from the graveyard with Artalion. But we do get to set a Ketu in the back. We're gonna pop the Ogmunde here. We're gonna set a Sting, and we get to pop a monster, which is gonna be the Jausa. And we're gonna set a Horn with Femina. Can't recycle anything with Artalion. He's gonna activate the Mako Bell to add itself back into the hand because the Jausa was popped. We're gonna activate the Ergula, add Femina back to the hand. We're gonna activate the Ketu Draco Tail. He's gonna hit us with the Maxi. Of course, a Maxi has to be involved. Why not? But at this point in time, it doesn't matter too much because I get a Froxo to the hand. We're gonna use Artalion and the Froxo to fusion summon into a Galumel. Opponent is gonna draw a card off of that. We're gonna activate the Froxo, chain the Galumel. We're gonna pop the trap. I don't wanna pop this because I don't want him. If I pop this right now, he's basically gonna activate and send one of my cards to the graveyard by sending the Ogmunde back into the extra deck. I don't want that. So we're gonna pop the trap. Froxo is gonna set a flame in the back. And now I'm gonna activate the Ecclesia and the Dark Dragon to recycle Artalion to put that thing back into the extra deck so I don't have to worry about a second effect, right? That leaves us with 7,600 on the field. Slapping once, slapping twice. He already paid 4,000 life points by activating the Weiju Temple and other extra shenanigans. So yeah, that is the last replay of the day. Let's go back to the deck list. All right, familia. So those are the replays. That is the video. This is the deck list. Again, I rarely ever see the Quem. I promise you, I rarely ever see this thing. That there hasn't been too many times when it mattered. I'm just gonna be completely. I never used it. I never got to use it since I added it in there. But to be honest, I think I added it like 5 games ago. So that's probably why. But yeah, if you want to get rid of it, just get rid of it. Play another hand trap or something. For whatever reason, it just worked out. It just made the deck function better when I added the Quem. So yeah. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the content. If you did, leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe because I would really appreciate it. I'm going to see you guys next time when that ban list drops because we're all waiting on it. Apparently, it's going to drop on Wednesday. And I'm not going to make any promises, but I might stream tomorrow because I owe you guys. So again, continue having a great morning, day, afternoon, wherever the heck you're at. And I'm going to catch you guys next time. Peace.